So, dear students, good morning and welcome to the VLSI System Gen course. After CAT, now again we are starting the class. So, as we in CAT, various means in both A1 plus TA1 and A2 plus TA2 both slots, various problems have been given. So, those type of problems again just discussing quickly. So, first let me discuss this type of problem where threshold voltage calculation and also threshold voltage adjustment related problems. If in MOSFET some parameters, design parameters are given, like here, calculate zero bias threshold voltage per n channel MOSFET, and oxide thickness is 10 nanometer, and substrate doping Na is 10 to the power 16 per centimeter cube, and assume that gate is heavily doped n-type polysilicon. It is given, and here gate is n-type heavily doped polysilicon. So based on the band gap, if band gap is provided in terms of Eg by suppose Eg by Q is given, then what is the value? So Eg by 2Q, this is required. So if these parameters are given, then you have to solve how to get the values. And also boron dose for ion implantation is done for adjusting the threshold voltage. It is given. So this type of problems have to solve. Already we know that zero bias threshold voltage, how to calculate. If substrate bias is zero, so zero bias substrate threshold voltage means you are applying zero bias to the body or substrate, or body is connected to ground, or it is also for NMOS it is connected to the ground. And in that case, this is the problem. Vt0, it is calculated phi ms minus 2 phi f minus qb by cox minus q oxide charges by cox minus this ion implanted charges. To adjust the threshold voltage, additional ion implanted charges are also there. So qii, ion implanted charges divided by cox. So this work function difference between the semiconductor and the gate is polysilicon. So between if it is metal, then between the metal and metal and substrate, metal and silicon, and if it is polysilicon, then between the silicon and this polysilicon. So this is calculated by, if it is means only band gap related parameters are available, like Eg by 2Q is available, then Kt by Q ln I by Na minus Eg by 2Q, this you can use, and this is the value. And similarly, Fermi potential, if you want to find out Fermi potential for silicon, so for phi f is Kt by Q and I by Na, because it is substrate is p type. So in this case, Kt by Q ln I by Na we are using. If it is n types of, for the case of PMOS, it will be just reversed. Here Nd by Ni something, it will be there. And also Kt by Q, it is thermal voltage, which is around 0.026 volt, and intrinsic carrier concentration, if it is given, then fine. Otherwise you should keep in mind that it is 1.45 for silicon. It is intrinsic concentration, intrinsic carrier concentration 1.45 into 10 power 10 per centimeter cube. Na is already given, so you are putting, so you are getting this value. And also oxide capacitance per unit area, cox, it can be calculated by epsilon ox by tox, where epsilon ox is equal to relative permittivity epsilon r into epsilon naught, and epsilon r is 3.9 and epsilon naught is 8.85 into 10 power minus 14 farad per centimeter. And this tox is given in nanometer, it is converted to centimeter, so that here all the units here centimeter, here in the downside also centimeter. So it is given that tox is 10 nanometer. If you convert, because 10 nanometer means 10 into 10 power minus 9 meter, means 10 power minus 8 meter. And if you are converting in centimeter, then accordingly it is converted. So 10 into 10 power minus 9, and because meter is having means 1 meter has 10 to the power 2 centimeter, so 2 power going down, so 10 into 10 power minus 7 centimeter. Accordingly, it is coming this much, 3.45 into 10 power minus 7 farad per centimeter square, because here centimeter, so centimeter square. So now also this depletion region charges are calculated by this method. It is depletion region charges is not given directly. It is but parameters are given like Na is available and silicon permittivity is available, and 2 phi f we can use mod of 2 phi f. So 2 Q is electronic charge, 2 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Epsilon of the silicon, epsilon of the silicon is 11.9. Relative permittivity into epsilon naught. This is required for calculating actual value epsilon psi. And Na was 10 power 16, and phi f already we have calculated, and its mod is taken. It is minus sign will be gone. So 2 into minus 0.35, it will be further becoming positive, and here minus sign is already there. So it is around minus 4.86 into 10 power minus 8 coulomb per centimeter square. This is means charge per unit area in the depletion region. Oxide charge, its number is given, but by multiplying with the electronic charge. In the problem, the density is given, but how many, its number is already available, 10 power 11 per centimeter square number are basically this much in the unit area. 1 centimeter square, in 1 centimeter square 10 power 11 charges are there, but by multiplying with Q, actual charge can be calculated. So Q is multiplied with the number N oxide, NOx is given. NOx is 10 power 11 per centimeter square. So this is multiplied, then it is giving charge. And ion implanted charges number is also given. It is not giving the exact charge, but it is giving the number. Means ion implantation charges per unit area is number of the ion implanted charges per unit area is given. That is 1.3 into 10 power 12. It is again multiplied with this one, this electronic charge. So this much you are getting. So to find the actual value of the threshold voltage, it is now all the terms are added, and you are getting 0.50 volt. So the ion implantation adjustment is basically creating providing some positive threshold voltage. If it is not done, then if this contribution is not there, there may be some problem in getting positive threshold voltage. So ion implantation adjustment was necessary to obtain the enhancement type characteristics of the this device. Otherwise, maybe if you remove this term, don't add, then you can check what is the value. Then maybe it is not providing the enhancement type, because enhancement type threshold voltage should be positive for NMOS if it is working as enhancement type. And in the case of depletion mode, there is still this device will be on even in the zero voltage, with zero gate voltage, or even negative gate voltage also still on. So it is on normally on device, that is called depletion mode device. In that case, for NMOS also we can have some negative threshold voltage also possible. So even it is working at negative gate voltage also. But if it is enhancement type, then some positive threshold voltage is required. So this is the difference. The other case here, PMOS, similar problem is given. Oxide thickness is given, and N type substrate is there, and its doping is 10 power 16 per centimeter cube. And because P type MOSFET is created in N well, so N well has this much doping, and gate is heavily doped here again, and there are 5 into 10 power 10 per centimeter square positive charge in the oxide. So 5 into 10 power 10, this is NOx. NOx is given, number of charges in the depletion region, sorry, in the oxide region. Determine the necessary ion implantation, and to adjust the zero bias threshold voltage to negative. It is P type, so for working this transistor as an enhancement mode transistor, negative threshold voltage is required. But with this much design parameter, maybe we are not getting negative threshold voltage, and also it is targeted that minus 0.5 threshold voltage is required. So some this term Qi by Cox is required, and this Qi you have to find it out. And let us find first, after ion implantation, this is the formula. So let us first find out work function difference between the semiconductor, means silicon and type silicon, and polysilicon gate. So Kt by Q ln Nd by Ni, and then Eg by 2q, which is Eg by 2q is 0.35. So sorry, this one coming 0.35, and Eg by 2q is 1. Eg by 2q is Eg by q is 1.12. So by dividing 2 you can calculate. So it is coming 0.9, and also this was phi f is required. So phi f is for this p type MOSFET. Substrate is n type silicon, because it is in this case it is created in the substrate. Instead of substrate, it is created in the well. So even you are taking p type substrate, but there may be for CMOS creation in the p type substrate directly NMOS can be fabricated. For fabricating PMOS, some n well is created. In n well, this is doping. Some n doping diffusion is done, n type diffusion, so that this much donor concentration, and is 10^16 per centimeter cube. So with the help of that well doping is already known. So with the help of that, what is the Fermi potential of that well? KT by Q ln Nd by Ni. KT by Q we can directly use 0.026 volt, and Nd is this much, and I already silicon intrinsic concentration. So this much, and COX again in the similar fashion we can calculate epsilon OX by TOX. And for the oxide, it is relative permittivity of silicon dioxide is 3.9, and it is multiplied by epsilon naught. Epsilon naught is 8.85 into 10 per minus 14 farad per centimeter, and TOX is converted to the, it is given in TOX is given in nanometer. It is converted to the centimeter. It is becoming 10 to about 10 into 10 per minus 7 centimeter. So TOX, and all substitutions, but we are getting 3.45 into 10 per minus 7 farad per centimeter square. And then in this case the depletion charges here, it is because it is p channel MOSFET, so it is negative sign is removed now. Root 2q Nd epsilon psi mod of 2 phi f. So by putting this value, we are getting QB also. And oxide charges we can calculate. Depletion charges you have calculated. Oxide charges Qx equal to Q into NOx. NOx, this is the concentration, 5 into 10 per centimeter square number of oxide charges multiplied by Q, electronic charge. So this is the value. Then without ion implantation, we are calculating threshold voltage. It is coming by putting all the value, you are getting 0.04, which is positive. But for P MOSFET to work as an enhancement mode MOSFET transistor, we need negative threshold voltage, but by default it is giving some positive threshold voltage. So this is why this ion implantation is required. And also we have discussed in theory how much ion implanted charges is required. That can be calculated by delta, how much threshold voltage change is required. So you want threshold voltage change here, in it is telling that minus 0.5. So from minus 0.5 you can subtract this one, and then how much change is coming, that we can put here. So ion implanted charges QII, it may be equal to minus delta VT, change of threshold voltage into COX. So by this way, minus delta VT we are calculating, minus this is the final voltage, minus 0.50, and minus whatever you are getting, that one. So this much multiplied by this oxide capacitance per unit area. So this is the charge, and it is telling tell the dose. So this is the actual charge, ion implanted charges, but number of ion implanted charges per unit area, that is dose. So dose can be calculated by dividing this charge by Q, electronic charge. So this is the calculation which is done. Next one, other problem, that is body effect on threshold voltage and change of threshold voltage calculation. It is partially just, it is smaller than the previous problem. So consider NMOS transistor with TOX equal to 10 nanometer and Na equal to 10^16 per centimeter cube. Calculate the change in threshold voltage attributed to the body bias effect with BS equal to minus 1.5 volt. So BS you are giving 1.5 body voltage between body and between body. If we are writing BBS, then it is minus 1.5 volt. If it is written as VSB, then it will be plus 1.5 volt. So depending on which terminal you are abbreviating here first, you are writing BBS. So BBS you are writing the negative, means you are applying this much negative voltage to the body, or BSB BSB means you are applying some 1.5 volt positive 1.5 volt with respect to body. So source is having positive this much 1.5 volt positive voltage with respect to body, but body is having minus 1.5 volt with respect to source. So in this way, in this body effect, we know that this is body coefficient is body effect coefficient must be calculated first, gamma, which is 2q epsilon psi Na by COX. Obviously 2 into electronic charge, then epsilon of silicon, permittivity of silicon, it is relative permittivity is 11.9. Na is also it should be multiplied by epsilon naught, 8.85 into 10 power minus 14, and Na is given, Na is 10 power 16, and COX we can calculate. COX is epsilon OX by TOX. Epsilon OX is calculated by 3.9 into 10 power into epsilon naught, means 8.85 into 10 minus 14 per centimeter cube, divided by oxide thickness in centimeter, 10 into 10 power minus 7. So in this way it is coming 0.168 volt to the power half. And for p-type substrate, because here you are considering n mass, so substrate is p-type, so phi f is calculated kT by q ln Ni by Na. kT by q is thermal voltage 0.026 volt and ln Ni by Na. So you are calculating this much. Then obviously this is the means phi f is also known, and gamma factor is known. So change in threshold voltage is basically Vt new threshold voltage with body effect minus Vt 0. This is basically this much is given by gamma root b bs plus 2 phi f minus mod of 2 phi f. So here you are putting gamma, also voltage bbs is given, so you can put that value, and bbs and 2 phi f also you are putting, phi f is here. So its mod is taken, so it will become positive. You should add both. Here also 2 phi f is basically 0.7, mod of 2 phi f is 0.7 now. So simply here this much threshold voltage change is calculated. So these were some examples from the previous slides. Now I will come to the new slide, which current slide. Instead of sharing this one, I will change the sharing. I will come to the new slide. From that also I will explain some. In current slide we have some problems. So stop sharing this one and now share the other one, 16. Let us share this one, 16. In this, at the end we have some problems that we can discuss. CMOS, like here, one problem related to CMOS inverter. Again we can quickly discuss and come. Though it is maybe already so many such things have been discussed, but quickly I am just again discussing. Or which type of problem, any other complex problem. Okay, let us discuss with this problem. Like here, this is the problem. CMOS inverter designed. This is the VTC plot of CMOS inverter. It is designed to have midpoint voltage. Midpoint voltage here, or we can say switching threshold voltage. This volt from here you are dropping the perpendicular. Here you are getting some VM switching threshold. Some noise is coming. I am muting. Some noise is coming. I have muted all. If you have any question, anything, you can unmute and you can see or you can discuss. No issue. I am discussing this one. So here the problem is that it is given that VDD of the CMOS inverter in the circuit 3 volt, mu n COX is given, and threshold voltage of NMOS is given, mu p COX is given, threshold voltage of PMOS is also given mod of threshold voltage, but it is mod is given, actual value will be negative minus 0.9 for PMOS, and find the W by L of the NMOS to ratio of the W by L of NMOS to the W by L of PMOS. So this type of problems have been asked in GATE also. So this characteristics we should understand. According to this problem, it is telling midpoint voltage. Midpoint voltage is this much, which is also, if the proper design is done, generally we get switching threshold voltage here at midpoint. So this line is indicating the V in equal to V out, and at the point where this V in equal to V out line is cutting to the VTC plot, from here we draw perpendicular, and here wherever x-axis it is cutting, that point is mid voltage, and it will be exactly between 0 and VDD. VDD is the maximum supply voltage of the circuit, so it will be exactly in between, midpoint according to this problem. So it is designed in such a way that it is coming in mid between. So in that case, few parameters are given. VDD is given. So if it is coming in between, it means that input voltage will be at this point, for point E, input voltage will be VDD by 2 means 3 by 2 means 1.5. So at this 1.5, what will be the input voltage to the NMOS and PMOS, that can be decided here. For NMOS, input voltage will be input voltage just equal to VGSN. So VGSN value is exactly equal to V in. But for PMOS, VGSP, it is V in minus VDD. V in is 1.5 and VDD is minus 3, so it will become minus 1.5. So it is having some negative voltage, and therefore, and also at this point we can see in this graph, both transistors are in saturation region. So this region, because below this line, this PMOS is in saturation, and above this line, NMOS is in saturation. So this is the situation, and in this portion, start from D to F. In this, both transistors are in saturation region. So at this point, when input voltage is equal to VDD by 2, or input voltage is equal to switching threshold voltage, both transistors are in saturation region, we can use the equation of the saturation region, saturation equation, ID equation in saturation region we can use for both NMOS and PMOS. So beta n by 2 VGSN minus VTN whole square equal to beta p by 2 VGSP minus VTP whole square. And then beta, already we know beta n is mu n COX W by L n, and beta p is mu p COX W by L p. So W by L n divided by W by L p, half mu p COX VGSP minus VTP, and half mu n COX VGSN minus VTN whole square. Obviously VGSN is V in, and VGSP is V in minus VDD. So here you will put that, accordingly you will solve, then you can get. So this is also one typical problem which you should solve, and many other problems like here we can see few more problems, like here one additional means on different type of problem, like current in enhancement mode. It is an enhancement mode transistor, and it is biased in saturation mode. Then it is current is coming 1 milliampere at drain source voltage of 5 volt. VDS is 5 volt. Then you are getting IDS1 is 1 milliampere at VDS1 equal to 5 volt. Also IDS2 is when VDS2 you are applying 6 volt and gate voltage is the same, then IDS2 is 1.02. So IDS1 and IDS2 both are given, and ID2 by ID1 is equal to 1 plus lambda VDS2 by 1 plus lambda VDS1. By putting this and by solving this, you are able to find out the channel length modulation parameter of this transistor. So this is also, this type of problem is asked in GATE also. It is GATE problem. So this type of problems have been asked in GATE, and it is also in experiment you are doing. In experiment, some MOS related characterization you are doing, where you are finding channel length modulation parameter, you are using this formula. So because this current equation is half mu n COX W by L VGS minus VT whole square 1 plus lambda VDS, and by suppose ID1 is and ID2, both you are identifying for different VDS1. G is same, VDS1 ID1 for the case of ID1, here it is becoming IDS1. For the case of ID2, it is VDS2. and other things are same. So other thing will be cancelled out. Only 1 plus lambda BDS1, 1 plus ratio of ID1 by ID2 is 1 plus lambda BDS1 by 1 plus lambda BDS2. By solving, you are getting lambda. So this is another typical problem. And current equations, some current values like here 6.2 suppose. So W is given, L is given, and process parameter K and dash is given, VTN is given, and substrate bias is 0, VGSN and VDSN is given in one case and in other case. So first means such type of problems you can solve by finding out VGS minus VT. VGS minus VT, if it is basically first VGS minus VT should be higher than the threshold threshold voltage should be higher than the applied gate voltage. VGS, this one VGS should be higher than VT. Also VDS is having some value which is greater than VGS minus VT, then it is in saturation region, and if it is less than VDS is less than VGS minus VT, then it is in linear region, and these must be decided. This transistor is working in saturation or linear region, that can be decided by finding out VD set or V set. What is the saturation voltage what is the saturation voltage which must be applied to the drain. So as here in this case, other parameters are given and V set can be decided by VGS minus VT. So VGS minus VT according to suppose 6.2 we are solving this one. So find the current voltage current if the voltages are given VGS equal to 2 volt and VDS is 1 volt. So gate to source voltage is 2 volt and its threshold voltage is also provided that in the problem. Its threshold voltage is 0.7. So saturation voltage VGS minus VT means 2 minus 0.7. So here 2 minus 0.7 it is coming 1.3 volt. And in this case VDS value is 1 volt only. So which is deciding that saturation voltage is more than VDS, it means that still it is in linear region. In linear region, non-saturated. So non-saturated equation can be applied and you can calculate. Similarly, second case, let us see. In second case, VGS is 2 volt and means VDS is also 2 volt. So now we can see already you have calculated VSAT. VSAT is 1.3, but VDS is more than 1.3 means VSAT is less than VDS. So VDS is more than saturation voltage. It means that transistor will be saturated. So saturation current equation can be used, and in the similar fashion, other equations, other problems can be solved. So these were some problems related to the current equation. So one capacitance related problems, is there like here. This is the problem. One more problem is there, which is capacitance related. Like here. This one first problem, like here, calculate the oxide capacitance per unit area and find the process transconductance parameter of NFET and PFET. Here oxide thickness is given, mu1 is given, mu p is given. So obviously COX is epsilon x by TOX is this frequently we are calculating, and it is telling that calculate the process transconductance. Process transconductance is K and dash, which is mu per n channel MOSFET mu1 COX. Multiply it. Similarly, Kp dash, which is mu p COX for the p channel MOSFET. So it is possible to calculate for like first problem, and other type of problems like diffusion capacitance and others you can discuss. But let me come to the this one flip flop and other design. So many problems we have discussed, and theoretical problems we are few theoretical. Not theoretical logic design related problems were there, which we have discussed in this one also. So that I am not going to discuss because those have been discussed too much in theory also. So let me also come to the new design, that is the flip-flop related design. Various problems we have discussed. Now I am coming to the design of SR latches. SR latches using CMOS logic, static CMOS logic. Let me see. I'm downloading the attendance right now. whoever attending in this much I will keep again sharing. Okay, 1 minute. Downloaded. Okay. Okay, again share. So how many people are there? Now 2 people increase. Okay, I will see later. So minimize it. Keep aside here. So as you know that from digital electronics that SR latch, one set and they said two inputs are there and complementary outputs Q and Q bar are there, and truth table for this one SR latch is given, and design using NOR gate. Using NOR gate it is also given here. That part you already know. Only the part which we have to do here, that how to design this circuit, this combination with the help of static CMOS circuit, static CMOS logic. So as here you are seeing that one NOR gate is required, other NOR gate is also required. NOR gate design already you know. So NOR gate I am not going to discuss. I am leaving all those other things, this truth table and other understanding on you. This logic which is required with the help of NOR gate, how to implement this design, gate level implementation is shown, and how it is implemented in transistor level, that we can do from this one with the help of this one. One gate is required, one NOR gate is required. So here this side, and other NOR gate required this side. So NOR gate already we have implemented previously. We can see here NOR gate already we have implemented here somewhere. Here NOR gate. This NOR gate, two transistors in the pull down network, two NMOS transistors in parallel. In pull up network, two PMOS transistors in series. So this same thing will be used here also for the SR latch, but some feedback is there given. So those feedbacks will be connected accordingly. So obviously here two NMOS transistors in parallel and two PMOS transistors in series. For the other NOR gate also two NMOS transistors in parallel here downside, two PMOS transistors in series. Also we are seeing that we are considering this that this is S input, this left side, and right side as R. There are two S and R, that is fixed, and means in this combination other input will be coming from like from the S side if you see. So it is coming from Q. Q is going to the input, going as input to this one. So it is yes side, and here from here at this place input should be coming from here. So output will be taken here as in this NOR gate. Output will be taken from here. So this is basically representing Q. It is we are assuming that this output is Q and this output is Q bar, because in this one. In this logic gate we can see if you are giving to the yes, you are giving yes input to the NOR gate, it is giving logic Q bar, output is given as Q bar, and for the R, for the NOR gate for which you are giving R, it is giving Q. So this is why we are considering this is Q bar, because S is given to this one. So whatever output for this NOR gate is, that is Q bar, and for this second NOR gate we are considering output is Q. So we require Q should be given as input, because this Q is going as input here. So similarly from here Q, we are giving input here also, and also the same thing will be given in one PMOS also in the upper side. So in one PMOS and in one NMOS it is giving Q input. Similarly this Q bar is also given to this side also. Q bar is given to this other NOR gate as input. So this Q bar is taken, and other side this is the NMOS from the this one second NOR gate. So it is given for NMOS, other also one PMOS also, and rest of the things this R is given as input for this PMOS and this NMOS. S is given as input for the upper PMOS and this left side NMOS. So in this way, basically nothing difficult. It is easy. This digital this truth table and working of the SR latch already you know from digital electronics. From that this NOR implementation of gate level implementation of this SR latch is given, and based on that we are able to find out this CMOS implementation of the SR latch. Similarly, we can also discuss and its working and discussions how it is working, that you can go through this text, and that's then this NOR level already done, NAND level using NAND gate how to implement this SR latch. So it is also possible to use NAND gate, and in this case this is the yes input is given to this NAND gate, then output is coming on the same NAND gate as Q, and wherever R is given, reset is given, then output is coming as Q bar, and obviously output is given as this Q is given as feedback, means input to this NAND gate. Q bar is given as other input to this NAND gate. So this implementation also can be done, because NAND gate requires two NMOS transistors in the pull down network in series, and two PMOS transistors in parallel in the pull up network. So suppose this one NAND gate is where S is the input. So for this is first left side is one NAND gate, right side is other NAND gate. Again feedback as per requirement of the logic diagram, gate level diagram. From gate level diagram we can see that this Q is given as input to the other side. Q is given as input. So this Q is given as input to the other side of the NAND gate. So this is for one NMOS and one PMOS. Similarly, Q bar is given as input to the this one left side NAND gate. So Q bar is the output here. So it is given left side NAND gate as input down one transistor of one NMOS transistor, one PMOS transistor has been connected with this Q bar also. So this basically pointer. So this circuit is basically NAND gate. This circuit is basically NAND gate. This circuit is also NAND gate. There is some the output of this NAND gate is giving some input to the right side NAND gate. One NMOS transistor and one PMOS transistor is getting input from the output of this NAND gate. Similarly, the output of this NAND gate is connected to the one NMOS transistor of this this left side NAND gate, and one PMOS transistor of the left side NAND gate. So basically, as per gate level diagram, accordingly it is designed, and other things, truth tables and other things are discussed here. So it is as simple as other circuitry. Now I can end up, or you can also see design the clock latch quickly. So design of clock latch and flip flop. Instead of using this, suppose this NOR level design you are doing, but there may be some problem, that synchronization problem. So we can also add some clock like S and one clock S, ending of clock and with S, ending of clock with R also. So by using two AND gates, further two AND gates are connected. SR flip flop design, previous design, same design is used, and additional one AND gate, and S is ANDed with clock, R is also ANDed with clock. So if it is done, Then same thing, because R should be ANDed with clock. So and one NMOS transistor is connected in series here for making R and R and clock. Similarly, yes and clock. So these are basically modifications are done, and accordingly in the pull down network you are doing. So it is coming in series. So here it will be coming in the parallel. So it is in parallel connecting the clocks. So whatever NAR based implementation of SRLS, that is modified as here clock is also coming. So it is modified accordingly. And also quickly we can see, you can go through that material. Also design of JK flip flop also possible. JK flip flop. Here you can see the logic gate level implementation of JK flip flop. In JK flip flop, very quickly we can see basically this is the NOR based implementation. This is and further additional K input and J inputs are also there. Previously we have seen here this AND was there, S, and this clock was there, but here one input, here one J and K input, additional inputs are coming. So we can see, and also feedback is given. So we can see feedback from the output is given. So this clock is there, J is there, and Q bar is also coming. So Q bar, J and K is coming. S is basically S is ending. S is coming. S is having. Means basically here we can see explain Q bar and Q. How Q is basically R plus Q bar and then bar. This Q, it is how it is coming. Q is because this NOR gate is having how many inputs we can see. From this AND gate, it is providing ANDing of this whatever feedback you are giving here. ANDing of Q and K and CLK, K and CLK. So Q, K and CLK, and then it is further basically R, because it is a NOR gate, so it is also taking some input here. So R function of Q bar. So Q and K and CLK and Q and K and CLK are Q bar, then whole bar. This is Q. Similarly, Q bar is S plus Q, which is Q bar, and J and CLK plus Q. So these are means Q and Q bar can be implemented by this expression, Boolean expression, that is implemented here. Like here we can say K, J and CLK, they are in series, J and CLK, and also additional one is, that is Q bar, J CLK Q bar. You can see here J CLK Q bar. They are in ending, and then R function of the Q also. So J CLK this Q bar, and then it should be odd with this one. So means you can see the logic and check it. So with the help of this Boolean function, we are implementing this circuit, this complete circuit, because now time is over. So not every part I'm not discussing, but you can see. So in this way, flip flop design also possible. Further design of D flip flop also possible. D flip flop we can design means here you can go through that. Next time also some transmission gate related flip flop you can see, like here JK flip flop is implemented. So you can go through these things. I am leaving on you now. Basic things have been explained. Next time I will start with CMOS inverter. I will continue CMOS inverter. So now stop it here. How much people are there? Is there any question?
So when can you upload the marks? Like, is it corrected, the papers?
I will upload by maybe by tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. By tomorrow I will complete everything. Okay. So stopping sharing, and again downloading, but number is now not. Initially number was high, but now less. But anyway, stopping the recording.